Continuing our instructional video series, we're going to work on some Ippon Kumite techniques. So let's talk about Ippon Kumite. So Ippon Kumite means 1 point sparring. That's kind of the very loose translation, all right, that everybody uses, all right. The 1 point being you attack, the guy counters, and he strikes you, okay. And he's throwing 1 punch, all right. Then we also have Nidan Kumite, where the attacker is throwing 2 punches, and then Sandan Kumite, where the attacker is throwing 3 punches. But you can also reverse that and say, the attacker's throwing a punch at me, I want to counter with at least 2 techniques. Okay, then I want to counter with at least 3 techniques. In other words, this so-called magic bullet, this 1 punch, 1 kill we talk about in karate, very nice in the realm of fantasy, in the realm of reality, not something we want to concern ourselves with. You hit the guy and you take him out with 1 punch, God bless you, but keep in mind, that's probably not going to be most of the time, okay? You're going to have to hit him with multiple strikes to eliminate the threat. All you have to do is look at any UFC fight, any boxing match, any of the numerous fights you can see videotaped all over Twitter and YouTube, and see it's not all the time person's going down with 1 punch, okay? So let's talk about that. So in Isshin-Ryu, how do we work on Ippon Kumite? So we do it a couple of different ways. So one of the ways we do it is, Gary's gonna stand here with his hands on his hips, okay? Fists, okay? And his feet are gonna be parallel, all right? Let's back up a little bit, okay? His feet are gonna be parallel. And Gary's gonna step in and throw a punch at either my solar plexus or my chin with either hand, okay? Now notice where I am. So I'm not here, okay? I'm in close. So now Gary steps in and throws the punch, and I have to be able to move in and deal with that attack. And now again, in the beginning with beginners, this is all done slow. The punches aren't fast. But eventually, you have to be able to deal with that against a punch that's coming in quick. Now, I know what everybody's thinking right now. You're thinking, who's going to have their hands on their hips like this and throw a punch at me? The answer is absolutely nobody. But why do we do this? We do this because it makes it harder for the opponent to pick up which hand is coming. If we start from here, you'll inevitably pull up the hand first that you're going to punch with. The person's vision picks it up, makes it easier for them to deal with. When it's here, we want this action. So we don't want them to know. And what you want to do is you want to mix up your footwork and your punches. So maybe I do this, then maybe I do this, then maybe I do this, then maybe I do this. And this way, if he's keying on the feet, you're throwing him off. So he totally has to deal and pick up with the hands. So again, this is a drill to develop your reflexes and speed. So this is not someone's going to come up to you, stand like this, and punch at you like that in an actual fight. This is a reflex drill. All we're worrying about is moving in and countering his techniques. So I'm not worried about anything else. So he's just being a good training partner here. All right. So his hands are on his hips, right? Yeah, we're good. So he steps in, right, and I come out, redirect. Now I'm here. I can come in with whatever technique. Okay, and again, techniques can run the gamut. So let's do a few techniques just to give you an idea. All right, everybody loves to go inside Nishu, and that's fine. All right, so Gary's here, right? We'll do all right hand so they can see what we're doing, right? So Gary comes in with his right hand. My hand just picks it up. So let's talk about this. My hand just did this. That's my middle block. If I bring my hand over to here, I'm hit. I'm hit. So my hand just comes out and deflects. And if you watch Tatsuo Sensei in the 66 film, this is how he does the opening move of Seisan. He does not do this, okay? So this is just a simple redirection. So as Gary comes in here, right? So here, right? And again, I can follow up with multiple techniques. That doesn't matter, all right? So as he comes in, simple, counter, all right? Now, he comes in with this hand, I can move this way. Strike this way, okay? He comes in again with this hand. I can come here. 1, 2, 3. So now notice my feet aren't glued to the ground. So one of the big problems in modern karate is the footwork's terrible. Everybody's like this. like this, okay? You have to be able to move, right? So when I'm standing here, I'm in a natural position. I'm not like this, okay? No. When am I going to be standing like that out there? The answer is I'm not. So I stand in a very natural position. This is where I'm going to move from, okay? So initially, Gary comes in with the punch. This hand comes out, right? So notice my hand goes out. It's not here. So as he comes here, I come here and I feed it into the other hand, right? Which we call a circle block, all right? From here, I can break the arm. I can come in here. Now I can throw if I want. So you can, the initial technique to avoid the punch, what you follow up with is totally up to you, okay? So again, Gary's here. He could step in. I come here. Now I come here. I come here, maybe blade kick. Now I come across here with an elbow strike, all right? So numerous techniques, all right? So again, with this type of drill where Gary's here and he's going to step in and punch fast, right? Okay. So see, my hand just reaches out and moves it. Okay. So when I'm here and as he does that, right, I have to be able to move in and redirect. Okay. Follow up with whatever techniques I'm going to follow up with. So initially we avoid the strike. What we want to work on eventually is as we parry, we're striking him. Okay. So as we parry, we're striking him. All right. So an example, he comes in, right? Here, punch, here, right? So again, here. And this is what? This is Seiyuchin. If I want to punch the groin, this is Nahanchi, right? So this is Nahanchi also, okay? So again, eventually, so as he comes in, I'm hitting at the same time. So I've kicked and struck him, okay? Same time. So at a certain point, there can't be space or time between your deflection, block, evasion technique, and you're hitting him. So what you want is, as his punch is hitting me here, you want him to still think he's going to hit you. And then you very, right, you don't do this big thing, right, because that triggers the other hand. You just guide it. So as he comes in with the punch, it's gentle, right? But this would have already hit him. This would have already hit him, right? Now maybe I follow up with something else. Now maybe I choke, right? Okay? So this is a very simple drill, right? So in my dojo, we refer to this as Ippon Kumite, all right? And when we do this, sometimes people work an individual technique, but usually this is the reflex drill. You're working on your reflexes. First off, can you move in from this closer distance and deflect his attacks and counter? Or are you stuck in that same thing I see most people doing in modern karate, which is they step back, okay? If you're stepping back, keep in mind, after you block this punch, this one's coming right after it. And now you're on your heels. And now he's got the pressure on you. I want the pressure where when he's here and he throws a punch, I'm already in, I'm here. So again, we keep him not just physically off balance, but mentally off balance. He thinks his punch is hitting me. Now it's missed, but now he feels pain because I've hit him. His brain has to say, oh, what's that? Now as his brain's thinking, what's that? I've followed up with a second strike, a third strike, maybe a choke, maybe a throw, a finishing technique. Now it's over. I never gave him an opportunity to develop a plan. I never gave him the time, okay? But if he's coming in with a punch and I'm doing this, why wouldn't he immediately throw it out of the other hand? Now I'm putting myself at a disadvantage, okay? So I wanna block, evade, deflect, and strike him at the same time, all right? This is why, like, when we see techniques like this, right? So when Gary's here, he comes in with the punch, and I just bring my foot right up from the ground and kick him directly into the testicles, right? So you say, oh, well, that technique doesn't have that much power. Okay, well, come here, stand here. I'll lift my foot up into your testicles. We'll see how much you like it, right? And again, that's the technique that gets him to do this, and then I follow up and eliminate the threat. So we start here. When we punch, right, if I'm throwing the punches at Gary, right, I don't step, then punch. So the hand pulls the foot. The hand pulls the foot, both finish at the same time. Okay? So initially when you're doing this, be careful. A lot of times the toes will bang into each other. All right? So just be careful with that. You want to be relaxed. So if I'm standing here, if Gary's getting ready, we're working on this drill, and I'm standing here and I'm like I'm all tense, and well, I have to relax first to move. So be relaxed from the get-go. All right? Then you'll be able to move. You want to be able to move freely, right? Remember, kata is teaching you specific things. Then you have to be able to take those things kata teaches you, and now you have to be able to bring that into the fight. And the fight's not going to look like the kata. No fight looks like a kata, okay? The fight's going to be brutal. It's going to be vicious. This drill is a timing drill to get you to react, a reaction drill. Can you react quick enough? Can you deflect? Can you do this? Okay, that's what we want to do here. All right, so try this one. All right, and see how it goes for you. All right, it's not easy. I've had people come in the dojo from other styles of karate, see us do this drill, and ask if they could try it. Okay, and what happens is Gary's here, right, and I'm the person from one of the other styles that hasn't done this type of reaction drill, and comes in with the punch, and this is what happens all the time, right? Comes in, they get caught, right? Why? Because they're not used to moving in. They're used to always stepping back, and they're used to the distance, the attack starting from here, okay? So, some other ways you can work Ippon Kumite. So now we're here, right? So Gary's in a more, street fighting stance, like he's going to attack or whatever he's going to do, right? And the same thing. I can be here. He can come with the front hand, right? So again, I can check, right? Here, right? He comes in with the front hand. I can come here, nahanchi, break, right? Okay? So you can play with this. Now he comes in with the rear hand, right? He comes, punch this way, right? So he comes to punch in my face, right? Now I'm here. I already got the arm, right? Now I got here, right? Maybe I throw, okay? Same thing. He comes in here. I pull by, right? Now knee kick. Now downward elbow. So, and this one you can do where you move around a little bit, and now the guy's coming in, okay? Again, get yourself moving. It's not just the two of us like this, and me going, and Gary doing a counter. No, for beginners, yeah. Remember, everything's got to work up. You work up. But eventually, right, this is, so you say, oh, well, that looks a little bit like sparring. Well, yeah, but we're allowed to kick to the groin. We're going to the knee. We may do open hand techniques to the face, okay? Because it's control. And again, the two people, if they're more senior, they feel more confident going a little faster, so we go a little faster, okay? So now you see too, from here, we're not here. Our hands are just in a natural position, right? So he could be like this, more maybe like a boxer, right? He could come in with a big swinging punch if you want, and you have to be able to defend against those, all right? And then for myself, again, I'm not standing like this, okay? I'm not standing like this, all right? Ridiculous, okay? Those are all fighting techniques. They're not kamae, all right? So the key is we want to be in a relaxed position. We don't want to give him any indication that we know anything. All right. So when we move, we move. And as I like to say, he attacks, I move. He realizes what happened when he wakes up in the ambulance or at the pearly gates. That's when he realizes what happened. Okay. So one of the core principles of Chen style Tai Chi Chuan is at the touch, the opponent's finished. So as soon as the opponent attacks and we make contact with him, we've eliminated him as a threat. So it's instantaneous. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3. Very quick. Eliminate the threat. Okay? And you can play around with this. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, right? So, again, we can be here, right? Gary can come in with the punch. I can come here. Now I've got my squat kick. Right? Gary comes in. I can come here. Now I've got my side kick or my back kick. Move. Even, are those something you'll necessarily do in a real fight? Probably not. But it gets your body movement. So you move. Moving's the key in fighting. Your feet cannot be in concrete, all right? I've discussed this with my Tai Chi master numerous times. The biggest problem in modern martial arts is everybody's feet are too slow. We're not talking about kicking. We're talking about moving around. Look at a high-class boxer. These guys can move like they really move, and they move in balance. That's what we're missing in modern karate. Something that has to be brought back in, all right? So practice some of this. Let me know what you think in the comments, or reach out for me, and I'll see you in the next training video. Thanks.